I'm Andrew and this is Moving Pictures. Today we'll be running through the movies coming to theatres in the next month. Here's the list for September 2019. If you'd like to know more about any of these films, you can find the full trailer in the description below. Night Hunter. Henry Cavill plays a battle-hardened cop, Marshall, on the hunt for an elusive serial killer when he comes across a vigilante duo, played by Ben Kingsley and Ilana Jones. When one of them is kidnapped, Marshall must decide whether or not he has the right suspect. It, Chapter 2. After 27 years, the Losers Club are trying to figure out all about a clown called Pennywise, until a devastating phone call brings them all back to their hometown of Derry. Starring James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain, and Bill Skarsgård. The Goldfinch. After being orphaned by violence, a young boy is taken in by wealth. And no, this isn't the Robin origin story we've been after. Theo Decker manages to, somewhat accidentally, steal a priceless artifact from the museum in which he loses his mother. It's this painting, The Goldfinch, which will accompany him on his stirring tale of grief, reinvention, and love. Starring Ansel Elgort and Nicole Kidman. Hustlers. Follow a group of former strippers who decide to turn the tables on their high-powered Wall Street clients when the sex industry bottoms out in the late 2000s. Based on a New York Magazine article from 2015, it stars Constance Wu, Jennifer Lopez, and Julia Stiles. The Sound of Silence. Since sound can alter your mood, it only makes sense that you would seek help in calibrating the tune. Peter Sarsgaard plays a house tuner who finally meets a client who they just can't seem to help. Also starring Rashida Jones and Tony Revolori. Depraved. Not all mad science is done by mad scientists. Some of it is done by field surgeons suffering from PTSD. Henry is such a man who assembles a Frankenstein's monster in a Brooklyn loft, in this thriller starring David Cole, Joshua Leonard, and Alex Brew. Downton Abbey. Return to the 1920s and the Crawley family as we finally discover what they've been up to since the TV series ended. Be prompt, they are entertaining the King and Queen. Starring Joanne Froggatt, Matthew Good, Michelle Dockery, and almost everyone else from the show. Rambo: Last Blood. John Rambo has had a bit of time to think about his first blood. Or has he? He must once more confront his past for a final mission of revenge. He's off to Mexico to save his friend's daughter, who's been kidnapped by a cartel. Starring Paz Vega, Yvette Monreal, and of course, as John Rambo, Sylvester Stallone. Ad Astra. After his father went missing 30 years ago, astronaut Roy McBride is on a mission. He has to save the solar system from his father. What did he see at the edge of space, and why has he returned with an antimatter-fueled plan of destruction? Roy hopes to find out. Starring Brad Pitt, Liv Tyler, and Tommy Lee Jones. 3 from Hell. Rob Zombie writes and directs this second sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses. The Devil's Rejects are back, and things are looking violent. Starring Sherry Moon Zombie, Sid Haig, and Bill Moseley. Abominable. An animated tale of a magical yeti trying to get back to his home with the help of 3 human children. Can they escape the wealthy Burnish, played by Eddie Izzard, and reunite Everest with his family? Starring Albert Sy, Chloe Bennett, and Sarah Paulson. 21 Bridges. New York, New York. The island city connected to the mainland by, you guessed it, 21 bridges. But what happens when Manhattan is completely locked down to aid a manhunt for a cop killer? And what happens when a disgraced detective uncovers a conspiracy tying the NYPD to a criminal empire? Starring Sienna Miller, Taylor Kitsch, and J.K. Simmons. The Hunt. Permits, bright vests, and silly hats. These are just some of the things that 12 unlucky teens are missing when they wake up in a clearing together. They're unknowingly going hunting, just not stood on the trigger side of the gun. Starring Betty Gilpin, Emma Roberts, and Hilary Swank. Judy. Telling the tale of a truly legendary performer, Judy Garland, as she travelled to London in 1968. She came to perform a series of sold-out shows at the talk of the town, but will also struggle with her addictions and relationships along the way. Starring Renée Zellweger, Jessie Buckley, and Rufus Sewell. And here are some Netflix original films coming to the platform this month. Tall Girl. After 16 years of slouching her way through life, Judy, played by Ava Michelle, meets the new exchange student who's even taller than she is. With the help of her two best friends and her sister, she's hoping to overcome her insecurities and stand tall. Also starring Luke Eisner and Sabrina Carpenter. Between Two Ferns, the movie. Based on the Funny Old Eye quote-unquote interview show, starring Zach Galifianakis, this movie, directed by Scott Aukerman, sees the host touring the country to restore his reputation. Also starring Will Ferrell and a host of celebrity guests. Any films you're really looking forward to? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching Moving Pictures, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more amazing content.